This episode is brought to you by Parma Token, a Crypto.com tracked token. Parma gives you access to exclusive community experiments and no team or pre-sale tokens. Parma is a deflationary coin with over 50% of its tokens burned at the launch and 1% burned on each transactional event. Visit parmatoken.com for more details on acquiring this awesome token. Link in the description below.
This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah.
Welcome to my two Satoshis with Default, coming to you again with another market analysis video. Where we left off last week, there was potential hidden bullish divergence forming on the MACD on a daily. I was saying I was expecting the probability of more upside than downside. This were to play out or to confirm. And as you saw early in the week on Monday and Tuesday, we had a nice run back to the resistance point of 44,600 and got to that area. We stayed around that area for about 2-3 days and sold off again. And so what I'm looking at now to see if we either going to keep selling off or we potentially come back and test this area kind of on the last hopes, if you're a bull, honestly, because we keep about 3 times rejecting this area since using it as the pivot point since 13th. And that typically when you keep rejecting the area, it's confirming that there's really no demand to see more upside. And so what I'm seeing on lower time scales right now is you have these patterns. You have the descending broadening wedge, which you broke out, came back tested, had the run, made a wedge, the top, broke it, channel, and now you're just going sideways. What you want to see if you are bullish in this market, if you still believe that we're going, higher, what you need for right now is to pivot here. You don't want to break this low, this last low, back on February 27th. It closed at $37,644. If you break below that last low on the 4-hour, it's pretty much this run, I think, is going to be over. The likelihood is it will be over. But right now, what I'm looking at on the 4 hours, actually looking at the MACD and RSI right now, you are actually hitting bullish divergence on both indicators. So typically, if we could pivot here, typically that's a signal that there will be more upside. But again, if you break this last low, it's going to be null and void, and we're probably going to see acceleration to the downside, and you're probably going to be seeing 31,000 area again. On the hour right now, bullish divergence starting to form on the hour, MACD, and on your RSI as well. So what you're hoping for, if you're still looking for prices to accelerate to the upside and potentially test that 44,600 area again, is this bullish divergence has to play out and you start to develop on the smaller time frames, higher highs, higher lows. Right now, you're getting lower highs, lower lows ever since you tested that area again. Honestly, it's not looking that well when you scroll out more to a weekly. I was mentioning last week that you had a break and close above 39,000. Last week, you didn't even do that. You had that run early in the week. And again, you're rejecting that area around $43,200. Just not bullish price action. A lot of fake outs on the larger time scales typically leads to more selling in this instance. So you're really in that prudent stage. Like for this asset to be bullish on it, you need to close on a weekly, which is going to close in about, I think, 8 or 9 hours, 8.5 hours actually. You need to close about 39,000 on a weekly, and you need on the smaller time scales, like the 4-hour, you need to start to pivot here and test, 44,600 area again. And also what I'm seeing on the daily, what I'm starting to see is more if you're kind of bear flagging. Now, after you had your impulse down, you're just going sideways in price action. So what I really want to see to be really bullish on Bitcoin and crypto in general, you want to break this trend line around 47,250 or 47,000 area. Break that, you're probably most likely going to see 50,000, probably 58,000, or potentially even higher. But without any confirmation, it's just hard being bullish. You're really on your last play, like I said. You're hoping that that bullish divergence on the hour and that hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour plays out to the upside, and you make a higher high, break through these, these resistances and start marking up. It's just not looking as strong right now. We really have to, wait for first the weekly close and see if we can get above 39,000. So, but that's what I'm seeing in the market. The only other market I'm seeing that's actually bullish right now is actually gold. Gold and the metals, actually. Right now, I was, keeping people updated on Twitter how gold was actually continually making higher lows and kind of made this triangle, start consolidating within this triangle. And you broke out actually up a few weeks ago. You've just been having bullish price action ever since. That's a short-term target, but actually looking at the longer term, Jet Formed is really a cup and handle. A longer-term time frame at a target around 3,500. This again has been forming for over a decade. It's a bad line, but this is what I'm saying as far as like you have your cup, your handle, and as long as you keep making higher highs, higher lows on the shorter time frames, I think in time, the gold market, it takes a lot of capital to move this market. Also, the past few weeks, there's been a lot of volume. You can see at the bottom, a lot of volume coming in. There's a lot of capital coming into gold markets, these metal markets, silver as well. This has been really in a range since it made its peak in early 2020. This white line is from on the monthly trend line. It's from the monthly close from the last cycle high. We get above this line. I think we're going to be testing, these peaks around $35, $41, and potentially the all-time high around $48. So honestly, I've been way more invested in the metal markets. Platinum also as well has been performing well, more so than crypto right now. So, I mean, if you're just a person that's always bullish, is looking for assets that are actually gaining value, crypto right now is just not looking as well for that bullish opportunity. Like I said, just to recap, hopefully we pivot here. Hopefully the bullish divergence starts to play out on the lower time frames, on the hour, and the hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour starts to play out, and we start making higher highs, higher lows, potentially breaking the 44.6 area, which is like critical right now. We get to that area and we reject it one more time, we're probably going to see 30K very soon. But this is just my market analysis for this week. Just want to get a shout out to Crypto Blood, allowing me to do these videos and give you this type of content, give you a better perspective of what to look for in these markets. And in the near future, I'm going to be starting putting out a lot more content, not only on here, but probably have a channel as well on YouTube. I'll give you those details in the near future. And until next time, peace.